And my glow up started when I realized that I did not need to be louder, I needed to be clearer. I needed to choose myself, and choosing myself meant choosing who gets access to me. If you are entering your it girl era, you are going to lose friends. Not because you've changed, but because your life became louder than the insecurities of the people around you. And sometimes these red flags don't show up when you're struggling, but the moment you start leveling up, flags start surfacing. So today, I'm gonna tell you 7, actually 8 friendship red flags that you should look out for that will show up when you glow up. And you really want to stay for red flag number 8 because for me personally, that is the biggest one. Glow up culture makes it sound like glow up is all external. It's about leveling up your hair, your skincare, your makeup, new clothes. But let me tell you, the real glow up is internal, okay? It's new standards, it's new routines, it's new goals, it's new boundaries, and it's new peace. And when that happens, your friendships will get tested because not everyone around you is going to level up with you. And I want you to listen to this carefully. When you outgrow people, it's not because you're mean, it's because you're honest. Because if you ignore these red flags and entertain the wrong friendships while you're leveling up, you will have to pay for it. You start shrinking so you don't trigger the people around you. You start doubting your own wins like you need permission to be proud. And end of the day, you'll notice that you are repeating the same patterns because the environment around you keeps pulling you back to those patterns. I used to think that I'm very outgoing, I'm very friendly, I'm easy to talk to, but later I realized I was not only outgoing, but I was also a pushover. I was too nice, I was too naive, I always wanted to be liked by the people around me. And sometimes when I didn't get the importance I needed, I felt like I needed to be loud and I needed to have something big to say in order to get people to listen to me. I felt like that was the standard, to be the nice girl, to be the good girl, the girl that everybody's friends with, the girl that's so convenient, the girl who adjusts. And my glow up started when I realized that I did not need to be louder, I needed to be clearer. I needed to choose myself, and choosing myself meant choosing who gets access to me. Now let's talk about the big red flags in friendships. Red flag number 1, values. When you're younger, your friendship can be vibes only. But when you grow up, when you become a woman, your values become the direction of your life. If your friend's lifestyle and choices are pulling you away from the life that you desire for yourself, that's not just differences, that's misalignment in friendship. Because the conversations that you keep on repeating, they become the standard of your lifestyle. The plans that you keep agreeing to, that becomes your habit. And I'm not saying that your friend is a bad person, but you have to ask yourself, if you're hanging out with this friend and they're getting you more distracted than disciplined, is that really the kind of friendship you want in your life? If you're thinking of building a life that is marriage-minded, peace-first, purpose-driven, then you can't be making weekly plans with people which involves drama, attention, and all other things that are not in alignment with your values. Simply put, if your values don't match, your futures don't match. Red flag number 2, money. If someone is pressuring you to spend outside your budget or make you feel boring for choosing to be responsible, that is not friendship, that is insecurity looking for company. In your glow up era, money is not only money, it's options, it's freedom. It's the ability to leave any situation that you have outgrown. So if you're trying to invest, save, travel, or even build a business, you cannot keep hanging out with people who are using their money to party and waste that money with no future plans. And it goes the other way as well. If you're somebody who makes a substantial amount of money while the people around you are not making as much, you're probably going to want to do things that they cannot afford. And in order to hang out with them, either you have to pay for them or you're going to have to do the things that they can afford to do, which is literally compromising with your own self. You don't need somebody who matches your income. You need somebody who understands your discipline and doesn't sabotage it. Red flag number 3, jealousy. And this one is a big one because it is not so obvious. Sometimes it's little comments that look like jokes. Sometimes it's some backhanded compliments. And sometimes it's just silence after you share some good news. And I want to say this with love, that jealousy doesn't make a person toxic, but it does give you a lot of information. I literally believe that jealousy is a compass. It literally shows you where the insecurity lies and where problems might start to come up the more you keep leveling up. Every time you glow up, your friend suddenly starts to become realistic or concerned, or they go quiet. then pay attention. Because that's not guidance, that's not support, that's discomfort. My motto is clap for me loud or just stay far away from me, okay? Red flag number 4, negativity. Okay, I can be empathetic and understand that everybody has struggles and everybody goes through bad days. But there's a difference between venting and living in that negative loop. If every conversation that you have with your friend is all about negative drama, trauma dumping, complaining, blaming, and just repeating the whole cycle again and again with literally no growth whatsoever, then your nervous system starts associating that friendship with heaviness and you start feeling drained, anxious, overstimulated for no reason, even if you didn't do anything wrong. In your it girl era, your peace is your number one priority. You can love someone from a distance. You can love someone and still let them know that you are not their emotional landfill. So next time your friend does that, tell them, babe, I'm your friend, not your therapist on call, okay? Red flag number 5, dreams. This one hurts because it actually looks so small, but it's actually so huge. Because if your friend says that they support you, but they never show up for your dreams, like no hype, no sharing, no encouraging words, no genuine curiosity, then babe, believe what you're seeing. Because some people like you as long as you're not rising at a level above them. And sometimes they'll support you verbally, but their actions really do not resonate with their words. Either way, it's a red flag. If you're building something, anything, content, career, business, mindset, the right friends, they do not compete with you, they add to it. Words are cute, but effort is allowed. And that brings us to red flag number 6, effort. Let's make this clear. Friendship is never one-sided. It's not supposed to feel like you're begging. If you're the one who's always texting first, you're the one planning, you're the one checking in, you're the one adjusting, you're the one who's always being forgiving and understanding, then stop calling that loyalty. That's called conditioning. You are being trained to accept breadcrumbs in a friendship. And I know the soft girls don't like hearing this, but babe, we are not in high school anymore, okay? There is no queen bee in your life. If it's one-sided, let it die respectfully. Because if they wanted to, they would. Red flag number 7, being male-centered. Okay, this one is so important in your it girl era. Male-centered friendships. Okay, do I want love? Yes. Do I want a partner? Yes. But do I want a partner to be the whole purpose of my life? Absolutely not. And you should not be hanging out with a girl who makes a man the whole purpose of her life. If every plan revolves around men, if every conversation revolves around men, and every decision is about male attention, then you will have to constantly adjust and shrink yourself just to fit into that group. And it becomes impossible to live a purpose-driven life when everything revolves around romance, drama, and validation. You don't necessarily need friends who hate men, but you do need friends who have another personality outside of just having a man. And at last, red flag number 8, personally the most important one for me, is no magic or no growth. I'm not saying everybody has to believe exactly what I believe, but if somebody mocks your faith, your spirituality, your belief in the God or the universe, your mindset work, your routines, the things that you do that make you feel better, your vision, your goals, then that to me is disrespectful and I cannot be friends with that person. Because in your glow up era, your belief system is what keeps you steady. That is what keeps you going even when the results are slow. And if somebody constantly makes you doubt yourself for being a visionary, for being a delulu person, that only means they're trying to make you feel small so they don't feel challenged. You deserve to have friends who literally speak life into you, who motivate you, who support you, who celebrate you for every small thing that you win. So if somebody does not believe in that kind of magic growth mindset, then they do not have a seat on my table. Okay, now here's something that a lot of people will not tell you. Leveling up can be lonely because you were used to being at a certain frequency, at a certain vibe, and all your friendships and everything that you have in your life right now is built on that frequency. And when you start vibrating higher, what used to feel like normal will suddenly start feeling heavier. And that is not a sign that you're doing something wrong, but that is a good sign. It is a sign that you are upgrading. And trust that whatever is falling away when you're glowing up, that is not a loss, that is alignment. That is making space space for better things to come into your life. If this video resonated with you, send this video to a girlfriend who also feels like she's waiting for permission to shine. And comment glow. Let me know in the comments which of these red flags hit you the hardest. Was it values? Was it money? Was it jealousy? Was it negativity? Was it dreams, effort, male-centered, or no magic? And subscribe to my channel because next Tuesday I will be coming out with another video which is about green flags in friendship. What real friendships look like when you move from being a girl to a woman. And thank you so much for watching. You can connect with me on my Instagram where it's a little bit more personal. I'll see you later. Bye.